Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's history video brought to you by the Clinton Public Library. This week in history we'll be covering the life and famed career of Ernie Pyle. Ernie Pyle was born on the Sam Elder Farm, south of Dana, Indiana, to William Pyle and Maria Taylor. His parents were tenant farmers, and neither had education beyond the 8th grade level. After graduating high school in Bono, Indiana, Ernie Pyle sought adventure by enlisting in the Naval Reserve during World War I. Pyle began training at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, but the war would conclude before he would be transferred for additional training. Instead, Pyle would attend IU in 1919, hoping to eventually start a career in journalism. Unfortunately, IU did not offer such a degree for journalism at this time, so Pyle majored in economics while taking a majority of the available journalism courses. In his senior year, after joining the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity, Pyle would take up working on the Indiana Daily Student, which is a student-run paper published for the community of IU Bloomington. In his junior year, Pyle would become city and news editor for the paper and even work on Arbutus, the college yearbook. Despite excelling in these positions, Pyle didn't care for the desk-bound jobs, much preferring to be out in the action, taking notes from a down-to-earth purview. In March 1922, Pyle would take his first real adventure in the form of tailing the IU baseball team while they went on a trip to Japan. Pyle and three fraternity brothers worked aboard the SS Keystone State to cover their travel expenses for the journey. After the adventure to Japan, Pyle returned to IU and was named editor-in-chief of the Indiana Summer Student. Pyle would also be made senior manager of the IU football team that year, but in January of 1923, Pyle would leave IU for good with just one semester of school remaining. Pyle started his career at the Daily Herald, working there for a total of 3 months. Following that tenure, he would move to D.C., where he worked for the Washington Daily News. While in D.C., he would meet Geraldine Sebold's at a Halloween party, and they would be married just 2 years later. Throughout Ernie and Geraldine's marriage, they spent a great deal of time traveling. The majority of this time was put towards Mr. Pyle's career work, and in his writings he would refer to Geraldine as the girl who rides with me. For the rare moments when they weren't on the road, Pyle bought a plot of land and built a house in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which would serve as their permanent residence for the rest of their lives. This house now serves as a branch of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Public Library, housing memorabilia and records related to Ernie Pyle as a monument to his life and career, much like our local Ernie Pyle World War II Museum in Dana, Indiana. For more information on this museum, watch our previous history video. Ernie and Geraldine Pyle were divorced by 1942 but remarried by proxy in 1943 while Pyle was reporting from the war front in North Africa during World War II. He was regarded as America's most widely read correspondent because his columns were published in hundreds of newspapers across the nation, and his attention to infantrymen made it so that their experiences and struggles were relatable, or at least easily recognizable by the people at home. For his unique experience, perspective, popularity, and perseverance not only in recording the truth, but also in lobbying for better pay and recognition for those serving in combat, Ernie Pyle was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Correspondence in 1944, when Pyle was killed covering American troops at Hiroshima on April 18, 1945. His wife Geraldine's health plummeted, and she would die of influenza less than a year later in November of 1945. His legacy is continued by the Friends of Ernie Pyle through the Ernie Pyle World War II Museum, as well as IU Bloomington and the Indiana State Historical Society and Museum. And his homes, both in Indiana and New Mexico, still stand as monuments to his achievements and his beliefs. Thank you for tuning in to this week's video. And if you'd like to learn more about Ernie Pyle, please visit us to see our wall display available for the month of April, as well as the Ernie Pyle World War II History Museum, which opens for the standard season on May 3rd.